we're so thankful for your congregation inviting us to this time with you to talk about financial education. We've been going all around the country. We spent some time in Chicago on the south side, having a similar program in Detroit. Spent some time in Charlotte, Atlanta, Cleveland, Ohio. And it's a real movement trying to educate our people about the importance of home ownership. And not only about buying a home, it's keeping a home and being able to use it as a wealth gift. And so I wanted to kick this off by firstly inviting our dear host to come in just to open this up. And so without any further ado, Pastor Moses here. Taking it.
Thank you all so much. Pray for this. This is all about visitors, all about guests. We're just so honored to be able to host this event. Thank you all so much for showing up. Y'all are looking good. Give yourselves a great weekend. Thank you all so much. We are excited about this. I'd like to thank all of the sponsors and everyone for considering us and being here. My good friend Reese, thank you so much for thinking about us and making this connection. Faith Moves, I'm so excited about this opportunity that we have to learn more about financial literacy, home ownership. As I've said so many times, you've already seen how God has moved in our life as a church. And I truly believe you're dancing live. So today's going to be so good. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm so excited about it. Now, hopefully you didn't eat too much. Hopefully you got a good hour. We can get okay. So once you lock in, let's take some good notes. And let's just have a great time in the power today. Come on, I want to give an invocation. Have a word of prayer. God, Father, we thank you once again for a great day. We thank you for a great Sunday, a great service. We thank you for a great meal. Now we ask your blessings to be upon us today, even as we go further in this discussion. Be with us. Pray that you will breathe on this time and that people will leave. And as a result of their time, their life will be better. They will get strategies and information to help them gain prosperity and get to the next level to help our communities and those around us. So bless us now as we share. In Jesus' name, everyone say, Amen.
Yeah, so, well, thanks so much, Pastor. Katie is a pastor mom. That's the work that we've been doing with the American Property Alliance. It's only made possible because of our leader, Al, who founded the organization that's been leading this movement. I had an opportunity to get to start working with him about 3 years ago. Me and my family here meets, but then we had the honor of inviting Reese on the journey. So we've had a really good team, and this won't be the last time you guys see us, but the first time. But to talk more about American Property Alliance, let me get right up out of that.
My pastor, Lady Eric, it's a pleasure to join you this morning, and everybody, and Pastor brought the heat this morning. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm glad to be here with you. Just, a little bit, I want to thank you for joining this today, right? There's a lot of things you should be doing on a Sunday afternoon. Talking housing and homeownership, generational wealth is exciting. And we're glad for you to be here. I think we really want to talk about what this means for families and individuals, and kind of building that wealth that you can pass on to your family. I'm Colin Allen. I'm the executive director of the American Property Owners Alliance. Before we kick the program off, just wanted to give you a quick rundown on what the Alliance is and what we do. It is founded, we're a Washington, D.C.-based organization, founded in 2020. And really for the past 5 years, our focus has been pretty simple, but powerful, right? We're protecting property owners and expanding the opportunities for homeownership across the country. Something that we know is key to building wealth and creating long-term financial security for millions of Americans. So our work takes us to communities across the country. As Jerome mentioned, we were able to enjoy some time in the south side of Chicago yesterday. I had a great event. It's been it's been a really good week, and we will definitely be back. So this is looking forward to seeing many of you again. Looking at the time. Really just an exciting time to be here at Faith, especially talk ownership benefits that rise. One of the things that in our initial conversations before coming here, was really excited to learn church and praying with mortgage. And they play like something in the real estate membership world. It's really precious to everybody involved in this. I'm sure everybody in the range through it has been part of that achievement. So enjoy it, and it is a success. It was excited to be a better time, I think, to join you talk about homeownership and generational. So today's program, we're going to talk about financial planning, financial literacy, and before welcoming some community leaders, housing experts, and financial professionals to the stage to talk about some of the nuts and bolts of how to get in, to owning a loan. And really, it's not just getting in that door, right? It's touching there. I think it's against and save it and continue to build that through your pandemic generations. So we'll be excited to answer some questions about the housing market, the overall home buying process, and maybe seeing, hopefully that everybody leaves to 4 minutes of the something that you didn't come in. When we visit communities, the Alliance really relies heavily on our partners to making this event a success. So I want to take a quick minute to thank the folks who've made this possible. Again, our host here at Faith Movers, with a special shout out to Pastor and Lady Garrett. Yeah. It is very they're helping us get getting started. The Douglas Leadership Institute, the National Black Empowerment Council, and the Financial Foundation. So thanks again for joining us today. And I hope that the conversations that we have today are beneficial to everybody who's here. Before we get going, I wanted to take a minute to present the HEAL. This is something that we've just started doing. We presented the inaugural award yesterday. It's for recognizing dedication to homeownership and opportunity on that. He's a tireless advocate and an activist. He's the youngest elected official in University Park history, and really leads into education and preparing that next generation of schools that they need to succeed. That's sort of key to strength and community. One of his major priorities is being focused on teaching about finances, ownership, building generational wealth, and seats. So please give a round of applause to Denzel Frank. Denzel, thank you for dedication to everyone in your community with ownership. And on behalf of the American Property Agents Alliance, I'd like to present you with the key award. Thank you, sir. And congratulations. And with that, we'll leave it to the one night. You're right to go.
Sweet. So we've been doing this for about 4 years, but I think that, first couple of times we started doing this work, now we're different speakers. Until, one day, I went home to Cleveland and I had the opportunity to kind of see Maurice do financial education in real time. I'm like, our movement really needs rights. So I talked to Colin and I told Colin all about Maurice, and I'm like, you're going to love the guy's really good at what he does. But what's more important, this guy has a real heart for God, passion for the truth. And so you're going to see that as he starts to kind of really get into it, can tell this man of God really wants to not only kind of move a community, but kind of move our country in a good direction. And so without any further ado, Maurice, and that.
So we let y'all get away with it for a little bit, but since I got the mic now, y'all get a little louder than that. I thought y'all, because when y'all was going through Mark 5 today, y'all was out there going crazy. When he was talking about cutting y'all, so y'all went crazy in the house. So we're going to go ahead and pick that same energy. So first of all, I'm here at Faith Movers. I feel like I'm at home. This is family. And when we said the best pastor, and then has to chill, and then has to things. So we're gonna get up with our feet and go crazy for the best pastor on this side of Chicago. the daddy go crazy. Y'all let the parents do the job before. Okay, not order. So again, I want to say thank you to Pastor and Lady Harry. And every time I come here, he preaches something. It's always right on time. And when I was thinking my wife wasn't here, I brought the kids last week. And then I had my wife here this time. And you guys don't know, that I'm gonna get into it, but I gotta tell my testimony a little bit, right? I ain't saying I'm a thug or nothing, but you know I have a testimony, right? I'm not an ex-thug or nothing, Pastor, but you know. But when I was dating my wife, and he didn't know, but never knew this moment would come full circle, is I brought her to Chicago, not just for us to see the city of Chicago, we both have been there, is I wanted them to see her. And I just know how he is, and once he put our eyes on her, they put their eyes on her and felt her spirit. If they would have gave me a nudge like, player, beautiful woman, but she ain't the one. I don't know if she be sitting in the front row right now. I'm just telling y'all, fam, I'm just joking. Like, I do gotta fly home with her tonight. I do have to fly home. But I'm so sorry. I'm just doing silly, y'all. That's the food. The food was very good. We're gonna get into some serious stuff. So before I left, because Jerron, who is somebody, and he's so selfless when he gets up here, this man is impacted and creating collaborations around this nation that's changing lives in our community. I need y'all to give it up for Jerron Smith as well. Because he likes to roll out. So I want to give my good friend, brother, attorney brother, all his flowers while he's here. And then to Colin Allen, who has just been a blessing. Just getting to know him has been just been ease to the spirit. Because as we do this work, I start to look y'all in your eyes. Because I ain't gonna let y'all fall asleep because y'all ate, a little dinner. Because y'all been at the wheel seat for too long. And today I'm here to wake y'all up. Because y'all went to enough financial things and you're still in the same position. And you still cutting yourself. Ooh, so we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So Colin, thank you for all that APOA does. And I wanna say this. Before, I gotta do a little housekeeping. Because I want y'all to follow us. Now, we're gonna leave here, we're gonna go to Detroit, then we're gonna go to Houston, and then we're gonna go to, we got other cities that we have planned to go to, hit the southern states. And again, we're getting ready to not just change one community, but like Jerron said, we're getting ready to impact the nation. And some of y'all pray for things and you realize y'all pray on a budget and realize God doesn't have a budget. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, I don't act small. I used to talk to Jerron, he always tell me, dude, we gotta do stuff around the nation. Stop just thinking about Cleveland, Maurice. Y'all always talking about Cleveland. He said, other things are going on around the country, right? We're trying to hit the nation and impact millions of lives. So follow American Properties Owner Alliance on Facebook, hit us on Twitter, do a little tweet to us, and then follow me, Maurice Burnell. If y'all not following me on Instagram, y'all in here, shame on you. We not family. So y'all are my cousins today. But okay, so just keep up with us, everybody. But I'm ready to go ahead and get started. Y'all ready to get started? Okay, so if you don't have your phones out, then we're not doing work. Because I'm going to give you some information I need you to take with you. And the saying is listen, learn, activate. Because a lot of y'all have been listening, you've been learning, but you haven't activated anything. And see, I can say it, Pastor Harry knows this. Been in accounting for over 20 years. I do hundreds of people's tax returns every year. So I don't care what your title is today. I don't care what it is. I see it all. And just like I can look at your bank statement and tell who you are, I can look at your tax return and see who you're not. Because that tells me you have no investments. That tells me you don't own no home. That tells me that you think God will make you more land and it's not. Just trying to wake them up. Yeah. That's how we got the security right here. Y'all run up here, y'all gonna find out. That's right to find out today. No, just joking. So, it's my stories. Was it not him? Thank you. Okay. Will you leave bills or benefits?
You know.
Think about that. Will you leave bills or benefits? If you died today, what would you leave? And I'm going to tell you the truth is I'll leave both. But the good thing is I'll leave both. So I have that home mortgage, I have this, I have that, and I have insurance. Pull your phones out real quick, put them in there. Cut the lights on real quick. I'm just joking. I didn't want to feel like I was at a concert for like 2.2 seconds. I was going to say, turn the house lights down, guys in here. And because some of y'all was I ain't going to put y'all out there. Because the pastor is here. Put your phones back in the air, y'all. Okay. Now, if you get in your car and you go to work and you leave your phone, what are you going to do? Y'all, that's a shit. So you going to be late the first week of that job for that phone? Now, let me see how y'all do this. If you leave your kids at home and you get to work, what you going to do? So y'all not going to go back home? That's it. They said they're going to call somebody. They said, I'm going to call somebody. Look, and look, he like, oh, you going to leave me alone like that? What is wrong with y'all? Everybody said the same thing. I'm going to go back and get that. But not for y'all kids. That is it. And I got y'all recording. I got Pastor here. You're going to catch him. You're going to find out who really is. So, no, but being honest, you have those cell phones. Let me see. Who has a case on it? You got a case? Who keeps the screensaver on? Because I don't want to crack the glass, right? Okay, y'all got that? Now, do you really care? So if I took your phone and I was outside with cement and I dropped it, would you care? Yes. First of all, don't touch my phone. That's the first one right there, right? So you don't want me to drop that phone because you value it, right? And then if you do drop it, you have insurance on it, right? Who has insurance on it? Everybody. So let me ask you this question. So you value that phone so much that you have insurance on it, but you don't have life insurance that's going to leave a legacy to your family. We getting ready to get started? I ain't even got to my intro yet. This is just the beginning, because I need to keep y'all rolling. So we have insurance on that. And if I see another GoFundMe. So I was at a funeral. We were talking about this yesterday. They buried a young man. He had a Louis outfit on. And he had him sitting up when I walked in the funeral. I didn't even see nothing like that. He was in the casket. He was sitting up in a whole Louis fit. But at the end of the funeral, they said, hey, make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Or hit the Cash App, hit the GoFundMe. But I said the outfit was like $3,000.
Right.
So again, we valuing that, but we're not setting up for our future. So what do we prioritize? So we at Zara's on Michigan, but we got zero in our account. We at Saks Fifth Avenue hit all 7 floors, but we don't have no stocks.
So I'm just
trying to get y'all motivated, man. Y'all motivated? Y'all ready? Okay, I really forgot all my family. I got like 3 of y'all said yes. The rest of y'all got an attitude. I don't care. Pastor Harris told me to say whatever I want. And I'm going to be saving it. So I'm going to say whatever I think. I'm joking, y'all. So let's go, y'all. So they told me to stay in one spot. I should know. I don't want Pastor Harris to change. So I'm stay in one spot. I'm not paying attention.
Sorry to the thing.
I hear it.
Where you pointed to the screen?
Oh, she was happy.
Chat and to that phone. Chat.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we're going to figure this out. Or if not, can somebody click back in the for me and roll with me? Can somebody, we're going to float up. Did you know how many homeowners I got in the building? Oh, I got a lot of homeowners. That's good. Take your hands down. How many people do not own a home? Raise your hand. Still got a lot of people. That's good. And like I said earlier, is one thing we realize is God's not making no more land. The number one thing that's going to help you transfer assets in life and build equity in your life is home ownership. That's going to be the biggest purchase you make in life on average. And the reality is, if you're renting now, guess what? You're paying somebody, but you're just paying somebody else's mortgage off. And I'm here to tell you, and I told Colin, and he mentioned it. I got so excited. Pastor Heron said, yes, come on down, teach. When he started telling me the story about the mortgage being paid off, I got excited. Like, I literally want to run around my room at home, tell my wife about it. She's like, what are we talking about? Like I said, no, Pastor Heron, Scott, getting ready to pay off. He getting ready to pay off the mortgage. And I said, I can't wait to get in front of y'all and tell you that what's on the house is on your house. And what y'all don't understand is I've watched him over a decade make the sacrifices. So he didn't understand how to manage the finances. He understood how to build foundation. So some of y'all, it's like church, y'all been out here kicking in the streets for 20 years, in the club, hanging out, smoking weed, doing all that. And then you come to church and you think coming one Sunday, the whole life comes challenge. You like, Pastor Heron, God ain't moving fast enough. You gotta put in the word. That's right. It's like with your money. So after I leave today, it ain't gonna change tomorrow. I'll come to church next, like my debt's still there. My credit score's still at 318. No, she like, the guy said that. She said 318. Is it go that low? I don't think it go. I think it's a 350. So I just got happy for a minute. I skipped down a little bit. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? So 46 times, you see the net worth of a homeowner is 46 times that of a ringer. That of a ringer.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
I don't know what word. Oh, there we go. So few questions, and I'm going to get into about 23 things. But what I realized in life, too, is most people don't change stuff in life until they get mad at themselves. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So you get in that mirror, you try to put those pants on you bought 5 years ago, and like some of y'all looking like, oh, it's her pants, those pants, and you like, they not buttoning up, right? And you like, I'm going to the gym tomorrow, right? And you go for like 2 days and you keep going, right? You don't keep going. You know what I mean? Or they come take your car, or they come put a sticker on your door because you're behind. And then you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. But in life, it takes you to get mad. So I hope everybody out here, if you have not been focused on building wealth, today you will get so mad at yourself. You'll get mad at your past generations. You'll get mad at those that came before you. And the new thing is that by the time we come next time, I want y'all to look at each other, look at your neighbor right now and say, you ain't got no money. Because next time we're going to say, because I got some money. I got some money. You ain't got no money. Look at it. I know that joke. I already know that joke. So I don't even should have said that. I'm not even going to look at that. But I'm looking at it sounding like some guy. But okay, but no. So what kind of home does your family need? Because another thing is, we get people who go out and buy, right? They buy homes. Now, this is common. You tour somebody, invites you to their new house. They tour you around that house, right? And about 3 or 4 doors are closed. While the door's closed. It ain't finished, right? So what does that probably mean? She said problems. That's right. They bought too much house. And don't get excited every time the bank says yes. Because they told you 500,000, but the way your bank account set up is you get 200,000. But you got excited and you thought, I can't wait to have my family and friends over. Then the first month came and you realized family and friends don't have to be paid to work. Family family and friends not gonna lose that house within 7 years. Average American doesn't keep it. Most cities that look like us don't keep their house more than 7 years because they bought too much house. They have no margin in their lives. So ask yourself these questions. What kind of home does my family want? So a lot of y'all buying what you want and not what you need. And then should I rent or would I be better off buying? And then, so I'll give you a quick example. What's the average rent here? Tell me average rent.
So you have to
2,500, right? So 2,500 times 12 is 30,000. Been renting for 5 years, paid 150,000.
like need a pack words. I'm good. Like that.
So when you go home and you look up and you see within your area what that is on the auditor's site, because some of you been there 10 years. 10 years, I paid 300,000. You gonna put that address of where you live, and you gonna see that you could have bought that house, right? So sometimes it's all math. The math ain't mathing, dog. It ain't been math, but we're not paying attention. Again, so don't get rocked to sleep. And I'm here to make sure we wake y'all back up. A lot of y'all been in that wheel. So let's go. How much money to bill for me to pay for housing? And that's what this ghetto is gonna get in. Is this the best time for me to buy a house? Is it the best time? Sometimes it's not, job's not stable, debt is out the wazoo, no investments.
That's your best.
So when you think, what I'm gonna teach you today is to think about every area. The house is important, but I'm gonna make sure you have the foundation so you can keep the house.
What?
Y'all with me?
Good.
So when this is like straight right here. Okay, so you got it now. No, I wasn't, child.
Shit.
Well, I got happy. I was figuring it out.
You know, I think you sit on. Oh, it was great.
Here we go. Home ownership rate in black families, 45%. Computer. Oh. Here we go. Now, credit scores, y'all. Credit scores. Average black person's credit is a 677. Y'all see?
Then Sure. It's up the turnbuckle.
Now, this is the money. The average white family's net worth is about 161,000. The average net worth of the black family is less than 10,000. And some of you, when you go home today, because I want you to get mad at yourself, I want you to walk through your closet. I want you to look at all those. Ooh, ooh. She said, ooh. That hurt. And I want you to look at that shoe rack. Oh, Stephanie. I want you to go to the person guard. Oh. Fellas, I want you to look at all the tennis shoes. Oh. I want you to go into the coat closet. All right, we got furs. Ooh. And then I want you to add it up in your head with the value of everything in that closet is. And then I want you to look at what's in your bank account. Oh. But now pull your phones out one more time, and then we're going to slide over to these tips.
You should.
So I want you to Google by the year 2053, what is going to be the average net worth of the black family? Everybody say Majoran, St. Charles.
April.
What's he right? What is that? When it come back in? What did it say?
I think
It says 0, right? 0. We're in 2025, y'all. That's only 28 years. So some of y'all, who got kids in here? Most of us. So that's our kids' generation. Your net worth will be 0. So you know right now how I feel the struggle. Some of you. So when we talk about we were at 10,000, we're gonna be at 0. We're gonna be worse off. 100,000 ain't what 100,000 was even 20 years ago. They said they put out some on fours. 100,000 is like living on 57,000 now. So we got some work to do. Next slide. Go to the next slide.
153.
Okay, so this in here, when I look at, I was really doing a lot of research about Chicago, a lot of disparities we know across income, home ownership, and poverty levels. And that's why we're doing the work we're doing here. And all you got to do is implement the tool. Go to the next slide.
And then
So here, population distribution we see, so we still have a very strong population. That's why we try to have some entrepreneurs here, to really highlight. That's why we spend money. We hire a videographer, we hire DJs, we spend, who heard a commercial on Ivar? Anybody heard a commercial? Like, five?
yeah.
It was almost a trick question too, because it was on a hip hop station. I'm joking. But y'all heard it, thank you. Okay, so let's go to the next slide.
Do we make content?
So for us, poverty rates, we can see that those are starting to elevate and escalate. And this is the kind of stuff I need to see on y'all social media, because somebody that's following y'all need to be woke up as well. Let's go next slide. So here, home ownership rates, 40%. And it's going backwards. And again, what we're starting to see is gentrification in our communities. We're starting to see that we can't afford to live in our own communities, that we grew up in our whole lives. So now the cheat code of that is create margin and create a foundation so it don't matter what happens. They say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's that one.
Some of y'all figuring out y'all have to get ready, and it's too late to put things in place for that. Next slide. So again, when I look at the median income, y'all see that disparity right there? So we got some work to do, right? Let's go. Next slide. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. So again, businesses, building communities that I know Pastor Karen is all about, making sure that we build equity and opportunities and talking about financial literacy and the importance of that. Because again, he doesn't want the house to be paid off. He wants your house to be paid off as well. And y'all have to believe that, because y'all invested in that. So you already sowed the seed. And why God will give you a blessing, with the blessing that you provided somebody else. So you've been given it. The thing about it is, you got to be a good steward though. Because sometimes y'all praying for a blessing, but what happens when you've been blessed, you just don't know what to do with the blessing. So y'all be coming to church, Pastor Aaron, man, I'm behind on this. But you make $120,000 a year. And you come to him telling him I'm behind on my bills. I need a blessing. Well, you make it more than the average person makes in this community, 2 or 3 times that. Bad habits. Let's go. That's fine. So we see average cost 23, 30. And this is what I came up with for Chicago. And that's real, y'all. That's almost $30,000 a year. So in 10 years, that's $300,000. In 20 years, that's $600,000. So you paid for that house you wanted, right? Let's go. So it needs just put different sizes of apartments that we were looking at as well. Keep going. The home price for that depends on the neighborhood you want to stay in as well. Because as I started to do research, I saw that number double and triple. Y'all like, yep. And just the last 5 years in communities that, again, that we grew up in, our families grew up in. Let's go. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm going to go to the 23. Let's go to start with the 23. So I want to say something here. A good credit score. A good credit score. So you had, and I said Aaron talked about it today, the 400 credit score. If you think, I want y'all to do quick math with me. If I went and got a $30,000 vehicle and I had a 400 credit score versus a 750, you'll be paying about $200 to $300 difference. And what y'all can't do is let Instagram mess y'all up. So my cousin got that new Cadillac, so I should have that new Cadillac. Well, guess what? My cousin had a 750 and put 1,000 down. I have a 400 and had to put 5,000 down and pay double the car note. So I paid for 2 Caddies. And what I don't want us doing as a community, driving foreigns and we fake. So that's what a nice car about today. I'm sorry. So, but we family, y'all told me it's family. So I ain't offending nobody, that we family. Because you don't realize I'm not only paying more for the car note, I'm paying more for that house note. I'm paying more for the credit card because of higher interest rate. So you wonder why you don't have enough money and you can't even invest or match at your job. It's because you're paying double to live, and all you have to do is put better habits and stop trying to keep up with the people next door. So maybe y'all need to move with Jones's family. They neighborhood. Ain't no keeping up with Joneses. We the wrong neighborhood. Stuff. Next slide. Go here. Next slide. Keep going. So now let's go. I'm gonna start running fast now. We have this. Is everybody take a picture of this? If you're not a homeowner, if you are a homeowner, everything is about a team. You pay people to solve problems in life. And if you think you are excellent at everything, when they say a jack of all trades, a master at and a master of none. So if I'm buying a house, I'm an inspector, appraiser. Conversation will be real good up here about that today. Lender, attorney, stop signing contracts, and you won't even read them. And then you get mad when you want to make an adjustment because that one word that you didn't realize what it meant just changed your life.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, all my entrepreneurs out there, you sign those lease agreements for a 5-year lease, have you grand open, have you what? Grand closing. And then you personally guarantee it. The business only makes it 1 year. Because you personally guaranteed it, now you're paying the next 4 years for a business you don't even have revenue for, and you wonder why we have no net worth.
Yes.
Sorry. Black billionaires. Black billionaires. Sorry. Spin off.
Yeah, girl.
Oprah. Tyler Perry. Jay-Z. And y'all, if you heard the song, how many at my house? And look, y'all know, like y'all want to start rapping now, like y'all know what I'm talking about. Kanye, who? Reed, and go ahead, just sing the song, man. Reed and LeBron, because he a rock boy too, right? Okay, and who else? Who else we got? Michael Jordan. Rihanna. Magic. Beyonce. We say Oprah. Ooh, Robert Smith. Oh. I'm mad at y'all right now. Y'all know that was a trick question, right? I'm gonna keep getting y'all. Now the question I ask is, how much are you worth? If I ask you right now, what is your net worth? We know the net worth of everybody else, but we know our own net worth. So, I'm gonna show y'all something. Let's go to the next slide. Okay? Debt to income ratio, let's go to the next slide. So these are steps. Come on, y'all. Steps to everything. It's levels to everything, like they say.
That's right.
Step 1, get your finances in order. Pre-qualify for that mortgage. Search for that home. Agree to terms with the seller. Obtain a mortgage loan. Prepare for and attend the closing. There's a lot more steps to that. And they're going to talk about that today. Just want to give you a couple of things. We'll go to the next slide. Now, PFS. Everybody will see all your phones out. Now it would be your brother day. You say, if I don't see your phones working, I don't try to pretend like you got it all. Everybody got it all together. I deal with it at all levels. People make $25,000 to people who make $25, $30 million a year. And I'm telling you, people who make $25, $30, $35 million a year don't have nothing in order. And that's why, guess what? When they say the average NFL player goes bankrupt 3 to 5 years after they leave the NFL, and they made millions. Why? Because they didn't have a foundation. So it's not about how much money you have, it's how much money you can keep. So that don't impress me. PFS. Everybody in this room, if you've never done it after the day when I come back, I'm going to make sure that you've done a PFS. Because I don't care if you know how much everybody else is worth. I want you to know how much you're worth. So you're going to print that down, you're going to Google it, print it down, you're going to do it, and you're going to pull up all your assets, everything you own, everything that you owe, and it's going to give you the calculation for your net worth. And then if you can't go where you don't even know where you started, How you talk about hashtag in the bag? What bag? What bag are we talking about? The garbage bag? The plastic bag? Oh, they can hear him. Or the Gucci bag with nothing in it? Because I said, when I was in Cleveland, I said, I would rather, one of my mentors said, I would rather you have a plastic bag with $5,000 in that empty Gucci bag. So, again, EFS of the year, everybody had that. Let's go. So we're going to go personal budget. I'm going to talk through this, hit the next one, and then we're going to hit these. Now, this is for the costs that you got to count. Count all the costs. The word talks about counting all the costs.
All right.
So that you're not made a fool of. So you get into the house again. You didn't count all the debts you had. You didn't count all the costs of maintaining the house. All you did was work to get the house, but you never thought about how to keep the house. So I moved in the house, but I don't even have 2 months of my bills and my savings. So I lose my job. It takes me 90 days to get a new job on average in this economy. Then now I don't have a house. So now I just lost everything again. Down payment, closing costs, escrow, reserve, moving costs, count every cost. Let's go. Only verse rent, we talked about that. Let's go. And then let's go to the tips, y'all. Keep scrolling. Scrolling with it. Take a picture of this one real quick. Just things. I really want to get into taxes. Boy, I want to get into taxes. I'm going to do that all day. I'll keep y'all here all night talking about that. Let's go.
This is how.
Budget. I just want you guys take a picture of this. Take pictures. And then we're going to get to 23. And we're going to go with you guys. Let's go. Okay. Let's take pictures. Y'all got it? Because y'all guys homework doing yourself. Somebody did you a whole lot of homework. Now I got to hand it over to this panel. Let's go. Let's go to the next one. Right here. Areas to successful. Avoid those risky loans. I know college. Write that down. The monthly payment, make sure it don't increase on you. Equity. Got to make sure we build some equity. Let's go. Things to consider. Location. Stop buying a house just because it's beautiful. And don't realize everything that's happening in the city is going on 20 miles from you. Have you ever thought to buy a home and ask, is there any future development out there? Oh, they're putting a new stadium right here? Oh, perfect time to buy it, because what's going to happen? Appreciate. You ever thought to ask that question? Oh, no, you're just trying to move next to your cousin. Oh, my cousin said this neighborhood is lit. I'm moving here. And you had the opportunity to buy a home. And I'm sorry, y'all know I love God. Jay-Z, that's my favorite rapper. He said I could have bought a property in Gumbo for $2 billion. So, wait a minute. Where's that? You say it. Now it's worth $20 million. So y'all phony like that. Because you sit right behind the class and rap with Jay-Z anything. Y'all too silly for me in here. Too silly, y'all. Let's go faster. Yes. Monday morning, 5 a.m. Be here. We waiting on you. And y'all make sure y'all get around in a circle. Make sure we lay hands on my sister, man. Okay, let's go. Next slide. So now pull your phones out and really, I got 10 minutes, I'm done. These are the tips I need y'all. It's time to do homework. We don't go in no city, Colin and I, and Jerron and the team don't go in no city that we don't leave you with some things you have to do. And if you don't do them, you'll be the same place when we come back to Chicago. So, first one is have your money in a savings account in a bank that's not paying you no interest, and you're not making any money on your money. You go back and ask them for some money, they won't even give you no money. But all your money is in there. And they're using your money to invest. And you won't even get interest. You won't even slow down or speed up. So go to bankready.com, look at who's paying or what, and we got to pay some of this debt off. And if all my mortgage, raise your hand again one more time. Who in here is paying 2 times a month on their mortgage? So I got 2 people. So do you guys know if you take that same payment every month and you break it into 2 payments, How many years will that save you over that 30 years? 7 years. And you can say payment. It's broken in half. Broke up the interest. Now, if you add another principal payment and make it a 13 payment, how many years to do that? 3 to 4. So how many you just took off? 7 plus 4 is what? 11. So now a 30-year mortgage became a 19-year mortgage. Ain't nobody calling you to tell you that. Start putting some respect on your own finances. Make them put some respect on your name. I just had to say it. I just want to say it. I'm sorry. That had nothing to do with this. Okay, hire, build, introduce the power of 5.
What were the Ken?
Stop saying you're getting the bag if you don't have a money team.
Good.
Who's your accountant? Your financial advisor? Your investment broker? Your banker? And your attorney. Don't sign another contract till somebody looks at it. And 3 of the people I just named to you are you get for free. Who goes into a bank to do any transactions? Raise your hand if you ever been into a bank. Oh, so nobody goes to the bank. Okay, I'll go in the bank. Thank you. I was like, it's right down the street. Okay. So, okay, go into the bank. There's a couple offices in that bank. What do you have? A banker. A mortgage person. Who else? An investment advisor or financial advisor, right? You realize they're there for you for free. Now, they have fees, but anywhere you go, they can have fees. But write this word down, fiduciary. Fiduciary.
Yes.
Make sure that when you're dealing with them, they're a fiduciary. Why do we want to deal with a fiduciary? Because they do what's best for you. If not, you go in there, you might mess around and get the product of the month that has the highest commission. Now, that's not everybody. It can be a lot of people. Let's go. So, planning for retirement, just making sure you put money into so HSA, maximize. Remember, build after-tax wealth, reduce tax liability.
Sure.
Protect your greatest assets. So a lot of you right now, you have insurance, 45 years old. You have 20 years to work. You make $100,000 a year. You have a family, kids, wife, everything. You're going to miss 20 years of your life if God decides to bring you along at 45. That's $2 million your family won't have. And your life insurance is only $50,000. It's not enough. Guys, I know we've talked about this before. Life insurance. We want Lady Karen, Rashonda, to be in the funeral. We want to grieve us, but we want them to be a little confused whether to cry or smile. She's like, baby, I'm good. She's like, baby, I'm just over crying the whole time. But she's going to be like, oh, there's a lot coming out of the day, though. I'm definitely going to miss her, but we're real blessed. I want my wife to say, I love this man, but it's going to be real good from here on out. He took care of his family. Because I don't want these jokers rolling in my life thinking she needs a date to pay the rent on.
Right.
Some of the fellas ain't gonna say, hey, look, y'all know y'all thinking it. Because y'all ask the question, if I die, what would you do? When would you start dating? And some of y'all women have asked it too. Why y'all trying to act like it's just me? Y'all know, y'all might talk about it last time before this class. Try to put me out there like that. No, seriously, though. So go to lifehappens.com, put in all the things that you have, you possess, the debt you have. It'll do a formula to tell you how much life insurance you should have. If you go out there, you can be an educated buyer. So stop thinking somebody trying to hustle you by giving you $1 million, because it is the last thing that you can transfer debt and tax-free. So why you not buy? See, we pull up to the baby shower trying to give Jordans to the baby. Other cultures pulling up giving life insurance, investments, T-bills, and bonds. And that baby ain't even gonna fit that stuff 6 months from now. And then back in the day, y'all didn't want to dangle the Jordans in the car. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's in the mirror. And I'm like, don't even realize those Jordans, you shouldn't be proud of those Jordans, because those Jordans should have been an investment policy to sit somewhere in your drawer. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's go. Take pictures. Let's go to the next slide. So, trust and will. How many people here have a will? So, about 20 people out of almost 200 people. Will. Get a will. And this is what's even more exciting that Pastor here come to Chicago. One of the saddest times of my life. This is nothing but God standing here talking, because it felt like a bus hit me, Pastor, when I lost my mother just a couple months back. I never felt that feeling no other time in my life. I really felt like a train or a bus hit me. The first woman I ever loved, that's your mother. Y'all know that, right?
I'm sure.
And she asked me a question. She said, Byron, what's the ultimate goal to achieve here? And that stuck with me. She said, all this stuff here, if you want to teach people, what's the ultimate goal? I said, Ma, it's to make sure nobody lives the way we live, the way we grew up.
Jay.
And I said, poverty, going to homeless shelters, and having not knowing what we're going to eat for the day. Remember you ever going in the refrigerator, all of us did that refrigerator was baking soda? Oh, that was just me. I've made the first Pop-Tart, y'all. It was saltines and jelly. I invented that. I think they had cameras in my eyes. I never got credit, but I created Pop-Tarts. So when y'all in the store, think of me. No, I'm joking. Let's go. So wheels. But I was saying to you, the reason why I shared that with you was I had 3 older siblings. Oh, God. What if we're different religions? What if one is in the streets, one is educated, one don't need no financing, and now it comes down to whether she can get a blood transfusion, whether we're going to resuscitate her, what we going to do, because y'all already know cousin Pete and all them, they showing up after she passes. That cousin from 15 years ago, he coming down the street with his dolly to take the washer and dry. It's only me. Y'all acting real phony in here. We in church. Y'all should not act that way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Your auntie talking about, what size your mama wearing? I'm like, I haven't even been her yet. Did you just borrow a mink coat? I'm like, what do you mean? But the wheel covers that, y'all. And stop thinking, y'all got 5 grandkids. You got 3 kids, and you only got 1 Rolex. So you want them to fall off after Rolex? So y'all think I'm playing. I'm not playing. So you don't want your daughter and your son to not talk about a Rolex? About the car that got paid off during your death? So now they're not going to talk for 20 years because you did not handle business. I'm not here to play with y'all. Because you didn't handle it. But you hashtag your legacy. What legacy? A legacy of problems? And sometimes you build stuff that you won't be around to even feel the results of it. That's called selfishness. Okay. That just means you can't go through the drive-through a couple times a week. You can't order nothing from Fashion Nova. See? Y'all can't use Amazon. Oh, look, Pastor said, look, bro, stay on that side of the room. Don't cause no problems in my house. So, I've only got 3 slides, so I can say this last. I got to say this. In one day, I say that. So I work from home. I got to tell y'all this. I'm on my computer sitting at the table, and look, and she's going to be mad the whole way home. But I love it. I got to use this. I'm on my computer, and through the first meeting, Amazon guy, I see him pull up. So I open the door, drop up the thing. I'm like, okay, that's 1 package. Then I see him come at about my 3rd Zoom meeting. He pulls up down the street again. And I see him walk across the street, but I didn't realize he went to the side of the house and dropped it on the other side of the porch. Yeah. So about the 15th inbox in here, I went to walk my little dog. And by the time I got to the porch, it was 5 Amazon packages on my porch. And I'm just like, who asked? Never mind. Okay, so I just got instantly mad at her. So just make sure we ACH in those savings accounts. Stop spending money that you don't have. And some of y'all have been on vacations It was 2 years ago, and you still paying on it. Or you don't went out to, what's the restaurant we went to? The steakhouse, the Maestro. You don't went there 4 months ago, and you still paying a payment on your credit card. I hope you digested the food after 4 months, and you still paying on that? I told you I want to make y'all mad now. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to do a challenge. It's a challenge. It's homework. Homework, 3 minutes, I'm done. Challenge. Everybody, 60 days of your bank statements. 3 color highlighters. The brightest highlighter is going to go on your wants. You want to highlight all your wants on your bank statement. Every place you know is a want. And then we talk about, I need these shoes, I need these shoes to walk. No, you don't need those shoes to walk. I need all your needs, your utilities, your mortgage, things you need, food. And I ain't talking about restaurants every night. And then I need all the things that you invest in. What are your investments? Your things that go into your savings. Which one do you think will be the brightest? So stop telling me you can't have life insurance, you can't invest in your 401k or 403b, you can't put away for your kid's future. Stop saying that, because all you got to do is make adjustments. But you got to do that. And when you see that, I guarantee you, every client I have do that, no matter what level they're at, they change the way they do business. And I'm telling you now, one thing about savings, some of y'all can agree with this. It's hard to get to that first 1,000. You're like, I don't need it. It's hard to get to that 10,000. But once you get to about that 10,000, you never look back. Because what they say, 21 days to create a habit, 90 days to create a what? Lifestyle. That's why some of y'all working out in a lifestyle. Because in January, it's your New Year's resolution, you go for the first 7 days. And you skip like 3 days and 7 days, is that true? And some of y'all still be in ACH and you ain't been back yet. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. Next one. Last 2 slides. Take pictures of this, y'all. We're talking about PFS, building that credit. We're traveling around the country talking about how to build credit, because that's how you're going to have margin in life. Let's go to the last slide. Last slide, we done, y'all. So after the day, 21 days, you start something, you got to start somewhere. What y'all going to do is start to do money big night. Because every one of y'all don't realize that y'all ate money today. You eat money on Sunday. Y'all eat money, right? Y'all don't know. So if you eat macaroni and cheese, it's money. It's another word, right? Eat greens, right? That's money. We keep breaking it down. So I'm gonna flow. I'm gonna flow with this now. I'm joking. But y'all need to sit at that table 21 days, the next 21 days. And while you're going through that prayer, you come to the church, keep praying, get focused on your finances as well. In 21 days, I'm gonna create that habit for you. And I'm telling you now, y'all gonna be DMing me, sending me messages. At least I'll pay this first card off. And then start saving for that down payment so we can buy that house. Because again, nobody's waiting on you. The house you wanted can be gone while they mess around and buying stuff that will have no value. The set goals. Last thing and I'm done. Pull up your phones real quick. Let me see the screen. Let me see your screen. I'm done on this note. Let me see the pictures. Oh, they have family pictures? Y'all not supposed to be here? Oh, please. So ain't no pictures. Oh, that's good. You should talk about. Ooh, now. That's, you love yourself? I'm glad that you love yourself. You should still pictures. Okay, that's good. Yeah, chug it. Oh, that's your new grandbaby? Oh, aren't you proud? Wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful picture. It's your mama, I can tell. It's your mama. Those are great. No, they're not. It's not great. And I'm done on this note. 356 times a day you look at that phone. 356 times. Y'all say that's impossible. I mean, y'all know it's not impossible. By the time y'all hit Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, on your emails, text messaging, calling people, 356 times. Last task I have for y'all if you're gonna look at this thing this many times, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at goals.
Bye-bye.
Put your goals as your screensaver. So if I'm gonna look at anything 300 times a day, I'm gonna look at something that's gonna change my life. And so I just want to say to all of you guys, set goals, because if you don't know where you're going, the people around you don't know where you're going. So how you tell the kids when the kids in the store trying to grab everything on the shelf, but you never told them about the goal? Legacy box, the last one. Everybody go and get a fireproof safe, costs you about $30. Put all your important papers in it, your life insurance, your accounts, everything in one area. You can do it online with that computer crash and they don't have their password, they won't find it. How many people lose somebody and you got to tear the hospital there for the life insurance? I wonder if they got life insurance. I wonder what the bills they got to pay. Put it all in one place and don't hide the code.
Last
most important thing I'm going to say to you, you cannot leave a legacy if you're the only one that knows what it possesses.
How
you going to leave it something? So you expect them to figure it out? If they depend on you to make sure they maintain it, now you're gone. How you think? So you worked your whole life to do $1 billion policy, and if you died prematurely, you thought you was coming home from that hospital, and you think that 19-year-old, he gonna make sure that lasts for the next 30 years of his life? You were the person he trusted. So again, let's protect these legacies. Let's build wealth after today. No more excuses. Just all you need to do when you get home, look in the mirror. I am the problem. And once you realize you're the problem, then all you can do is go up here and fix the problem. Y'all with me? Let's go, y'all. Thank the Lord. Let's build that wealth, y'all. Y'all ready? I think y'all ready. That's what I have y'all to be praying for still. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Clara right now. We'll get this panel started and I'll be around. I do have some books I'm going to be giving out as well.
That's a beautiful. Thank you, Louise. Appreciate that powerful message on pitch play and kind of how to get things in order. I think we're gonna we get another round of applause for a couple of please. Start a panel discussion. I'll call everybody up here. What about one? Do a quick intro. The other one I forgot earlier. And said as I sit down here, and hopefully I'll have a piece of that catfish fall out of my pocket. Is that right? We don't get to the mode. Can we get a round of applause for Peter? So we'll start here. I'd like to call the stage Edwin Castillo, who's a CRA work global principal. You guys we got our full information out here. So we want to make sure we get plenty of folks opportunity as well. So Brandon, Mr. Finance, LATP. Whitney Spinks, the Vice Lady of Region's Baby. Wow. Ron Aldridge, a real estate broker with EXT Realty. And Don's like Franklin, our field work better. So these are the folks conversation about home ownership, about generational wealth, what you need to do to get in, what you need to do to protect the asset niche there. And these things work out really well as a conversation. So we've got some microphones here on the sides. I'll kind of keep an eye on. If you got questions, you flip the lightning. We'll take them as they come. But really wanted to kind of get an opportunity here to tell us a little bit about yourselves and your journey with home ownership. So, Edwin, I'm taking you first. Just go. What's your home ownership journey? What is and how does it impact your life, or had the impact on your career? And why are you here? What drives it?
Very appreciative of being here this afternoon. Feel welcome. Great addition to the room here. Just to share a little bit about myself. My name is Evan Castillo. Pretty much into mortgages and financial services. I really like real estate up in Chicago State. I was helping to get my first home before I called the risk call. Did my first mortgage in 2001, bought my home in Sundance. My different mortgage brokerage offices for large names over for U.S. Bank right now. But I definitely have a passion, cute in helping these people obtain home ownership. My position in the U.S. Bank is as a community investment loan officer. So I specialize in helping individuals take advantage without being assistance programs, specialize in target our investments in low and moderate investment households. So, excited to be here. Definitely want to share my advice, which is,
So
You can call it Tom Clothing, me, probably. Thank you. People, how can we wait to go ahead? There, it's like that. His friends, audience, they're all his teammates. First 2015, bought my first house about 10 months later, but after we lost the bad house. Now I sold I rent first on I didn't listen, but still got more. But I caught beating holes along the way, but talking about credit, which segue me into the mortgage just get my license as an appraiser at 18. So I've been in the rest. I'm all in life. They help us to get our wealth on together. I started working in this mortgage program, became a mortgage banker and grew up in so and get paid dollars inside and food. But he was something like countrywide. They got probably some best things back in the way, but my background in books, just how to build wealth and power. I think it came by ascertain from our ownership, because wealth is built, like the general said, by us to, most cultures, outside of us have ownership and good equity. They can protect you so much further. So, I teach that in my program. I'm Charles. I'm a realtor and both Illinois and Riyadh. I'm passionate about educating individuals about personal home. So I love taking individuals from start to close and really being patient and guiding through that process, just to give my kind of home ownership testimony, so to speak, and encourage somebody to get despised, not small beginnings. Yeah. Because I started when my wife got married, we were in a literally one bedroom apartment, and you could take 3 steps in every direction and be in any room. I don't want to date myself, but we paid $360 per month. But things started happening in the home where, first and foremost, we were getting ready to have kids. Things happened where we had issues that were going on with the people, the landlords. They were getting ready to go up on the rent at $360. They were still getting ready to go up on the rent. And so we looked to actually find another place. And we didn't have a whole lot of money. We used down payment assistance to get to that. We had someone else pay our closing costs. When I moved into a 2-bedroom condo, we lived there until we had 2 kids and it didn't fit us anymore. And so we moved from there, watched what we did. We took the condo we had, rented it out. After we rented that out, we found the other home we had. So we had someone paying the mortgage on the condo, and we were a little bit more extra. And we also had the home that we were getting in right now. And we just sold that condo after about 20 years this year. So we built that equity up to be able to have money that we could build generational wealth. So what I wanted to do is really help people to be able to build generational wealth. So glad to be here. And I want to say this too. Thanks APOA for hosting this, and for Pastor and Lady Harry for doing this. This is important. So thank you.
Good morning, girls. After that, I'm Faith Mover. The thing we passed in life, great for having us. I also am a happy money coach. So you guys might remember all the announcements. We actually have financial management teach that. 14, 15, and 16 on your slide. They teach that. We teach you about how to manage your finances, teach you how to save, how to keep cash in your hand, how to manage your debt, things like that. But with background, right out of college, I actually worked at a bank. I was a workshop broker as well. Moved to Chicago, originally from Detroit. I moved to Chicago about 17 years ago to work for a consulting firm, and I now work for Reaches Bank out in Birmingham. But so with 20 years of great banking experience, my commitment is financial literacy. I want to teach you how to manage those loans when you get in the house. And getting the house is one thing, keeping the house, manage all the things that we just talked about today. We talk about the sign over, cap, there's 1%.
Lastly, Franklin, I'm proud of Thankful Church.
Yeah.
And I just want to share my story of generational wealth, which is not recognized, but Pastor's message today it relates to turning trauma into a testimony. So my father moved us to University Park in 1985 when I was just a kid. And he had the mindset to get a 15-year mortgage when he moved us out here. And 10 years later, my father passed away. So he left us with only 5 years left to pay on that mortgage. And he had the mindset to make sure all of his children's names were on the deed. And fast forward 40 years, this little house that was bought 1985 allowed me and my brothers to use some of the money from this home to have seed money to become entrepreneurs within the community. So even though my father wasn't here to see this investment, he was able to leave this house, leave a legacy. But it gets even better because through this entrepreneurship and this investment that me and my brother made, we were able to actually put some of the assets into the names of my children.
Yeah.
So some of you know I have a chain of food trucks, and we're the only black-owned frozen yogurt company in Illinois. And my children now have trucks within their name because of this house that was built. So super excited to be here. My angle is slightly different than these gentlemen, and I'm super excited to be up here with. But my mission today is to show how home ownership is a piece of the puzzle of how we reduce gun violence and how we reduce cycles of failure, and how we reduce these mindsets that this current generation has because of the lack of generational wealth. So I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you. You should have tested. Well, then, in a sense, you're kind of going there. What do you see are some of the barriers? I'll kick this with you. What is the barriers here in the community to achieving that dream, right? Like, what do people run into? Can you come broadly, and then for the rest of the panel, what are some of the strategies used to overcome some of those barriers for folks trying to get into the ownership?
So I would say the number one barrier when I'm meeting with individuals in the community is mindset and believing that the process of buying a home is not realistic. There's fear around coming out of their comfort zone of being renters. They've heard horror stories about the process, the underwriting process. And then the second one would just be lack of knowledge and understanding. That's why I'm extremely excited about these type of events that is providing the knowledge and reducing some of the fears that I've seen within residents around changing those renters to homeowners.
So we kind of get on one there. Brittany, somebody comes in, talks to you. What are you looking at, or really even maybe Sean, since you're selling a house, what are the first steps here, right? Like we're coming in some of this just lack of understanding how the process.
Yeah, I definitely would say, say how it's like, never start anything without inflating. I know before you see slides, there's two, that 6 months of look at your finances, look at your budget, be really clear on what you can afford and what you can't. Make sure, you don't have to have 20% down, but you still want to make sure you have a nest egg for the unexpected. I know I live in University Park. I'm a homeowner as well. I first moved into that house, I felt like I was paying $1,000 for everything. I needed everything, this and that, even though it was a brand new house. So even when you move in, when you first move in, money's ain't done. So have a plan, have a budget, but have a spending plan as well, so that you don't exceed what you're spending. I would say it's your first step. Know where you are and know where you're at.
I think echo what Donzel said. I think mindset is what I use. And I think sometimes we think our first home is going to be off the middle. Come on now. Instead of using that first one as a bridge to get that next home bracket, that every had that thought to get there. The other thing that I see happening in a lot of things is we struggle with our debt coverage. And we base on decisions that we repeat internally. I sometimes we spend money we don't have. I think we don't need to invest it, we don't even. You have to set it. She said a savings plan. Yeah, I would say if you're starting that process off and want to get a pre-approval from a lender, sure, we get down to him, he can give you one permission on that. And that's really the biggest thing, because it gives you a template of kind of what you can afford before you go out looking for a home. A lot of times we see a home that may not be in our range, or maybe less than our range. But you find out with that pre-approval, that it should start it off to move forward in home age.
And
I definitely would like to add on that mindset. People hesitate to have conversations with the professionals that they need to have conversations with in order to understand the situation. There's a lot of risks out there that people, fall into those misconceptions that creates a hesitation for them to have a conversation. Professionals, such as Son and myself, you need a real estate agent, you need a mortgage lender. Understand that us professionals, we understand that not every individual who we speak to is ready to buy today. So we have conversations that will help prepare you if they're not prepared as today. We may walk into an office and sit down with my desk at the bank, and you may be surprised to understand that you are over $250,000, that your financial situation would allow for you to buy something now. Or the conversation maybe that you discover something on your credit report, or you want to save but because you wanted to more than just go minimum down payment. So the bottom line is just to motivate yourself to have those conversations, to schedule a phone conversation or an in-person conversation with a real estate professional. However you want to start, just to start.
Good. Please. So, got background with all those industries, as I echo everything that everybody said, but many times people think that they can't buy because they don't fit the bill traditionally. So a lot of times right now, when I started doing mortgages back in the late 90s, student loans did not count against you. So I need to qualify, and it's allowed from debt that won't even be what they're not going to pay you at ill, but this was counted against them percentage wise. But, so those are some things that, and I think that it appears they can't buy the surface. I'll say that. Because some people are paying more for rent than they would for a mortgage. And which is crazy because you can save on the mortgage, and you pay more now. But I say if you have good credit, you have different ways to actually get involved in this thing. So many of my clients have been told below by the bank for high debt ratio. I leverage a good credit. 100% combo finance, what's personal investment for primary or investments. But what I do is I package it up to have financial to use of CF, when they have books, but they can still buy now, but they think that they can't buy. Some people have very good credit, and I can make two of your phone calls, a couple of $100,000 they can go shout to buy a house in cash. And then we can try to get a home equity line, a short window with a private lender to kind of put them in a position to have ownership versus renting. So, and also what I do is no documentation lending. So, having that 680 credit score, 2 years of credit history, or bankruptcy, or foreclosures, allows you to make those 2 or 3 phone calls that will allow you to insert yourself into home ownership. Now you're the decision-making seat. That could be for residential or commercial, because once you own it, you can decide what you want to do with it. But it's tier spaces, different things. I don't want to go into taking things, but I'm just saying if you got good credit, different ways to get involved in real estate, look at without financials. Many of my clients are investors have never even shown a job, is creeping the LLC, and then you go buy a house with them, with a one-day-old business, but they got good credit, or have someone that has good credit, and they can insert themselves into all real estate. So, but you still want to, be able to get the best interest rate possible. But some people just like situations keeping debt off their personal credit, leverage, and that capacity. But you can build books to still come back and get your first-time home buyer program and get your financials. So that's
All right.
so you folks never really interested in one area, right? It's like for these folks who are, you're saying would not have trouble access to credit, right? We have a lot of entrepreneurs on the stage and in the audience, right? Like these are the kind of folks that are going to have maybe trouble getting a traditional mortgage, or they're going to be challenges for folks that have like non-W-2 type, right? Like or honest wages. Then what are the way? You kind of got into a little bit. What is the biggest round? Like, what are the challenges that you would see like trying to assess those folks? That is there a good first like start the business, buy the house, start the business? Like, how might that work?
I have conversations with self-employed entrepreneurs all the time. When you're applying for a mortgage traditionally, after reviewing your tax returns for the last 2 years. And it's surprising how many business owners aren't aware of how the taxes are actually being filed. It's very concerning when you walk in and you say, yes, I made $150,000 last year, and your tax return shows that you made $150,000 in revenue or more than that. But you're probably lost so many expenses so that your bottom line, your net profit, which is what really your income is, income is your net profit, not your revenue. sometimes that can be a negative. But expensive time because in speak with a contractor. He brought up Horse Mississippi, did like a company. He's taking 6 figures of revenue. So, it's important for you to take ownership in your business to the point where you're thorough in how the taxes are reported. It's very important when you're purchasing a home. There are alternatives to the traditional ways to which you can get approved for a home. And, he definitely highlighted, certain strategies that you can utilize to purchase upfront. And then down the line, I'm to maybe do a refinance, have a more traditional mortgage and assets. But, just being aware of how the taxes are filed is key. Because you walk into, a tax preparer's office, most oftentimes they're just concerned about decreasing your tax liability. They look good when you get a big refund, like not would be back no tax. And not thinking about, 6 months from now, you just go to apply for something. So, there's situations where I've reviewed endless tax returns and, the 2-year average of 23 and 24 isn't there. These are situations where we set yourself up with a plan. Okay, when 2026 comes around, before you have your tax preparer hit that send button to say, your tax return to the IRS, let's take a deeper dive into it. I want you to understand it because before you hit that button, it create a new average to 24 and 25. You need to still instead. So,
It's, I mean, on that front, like it's important to have when the Reese talked about the power of 5, right? Having your financial chief talk to you, just repeat it. So, as we're hanging on through some of these, what are some like the concrete first steps? We'll take this as like 2 ways, right? One, take your first step. What are the concrete things you do to put yourself in a position to be balanced? Like those 3 things. If you simply had 3 things to do, what would you do? Well, my process is I look at credit. Credit is kind of the key ingredient of it all. It's how it's like your report card. You're being judged based on credit, financials and other things. So I look at credit, do a credit card with a place that won't be an impact to your store. It's like the bank they'll do hard. The U.S. Bank it's pretty great when it comes to the software side of things first. The thing is awesome. But in most cases, you probably experience a hard pull. But I look at that credit card, that experiment profile, see kind of what you look like to get a snapshot, or peek at where credit stands. And I kind of even try to do what the end goal is. Because a house, it's a new deal, but, I like to tell my way of life is borrow cash to buy cash and make the banks pay for it. So it's up to it. But also not spending, just to be spending, but spending to get a return in some capacity. So my personal preference, not in traditional mortgage, I've been commercial privately, is to buy things that need a little bit of love and attention, and create value where there is not enough value. So you're not at the top of the market. So it can be the access to equity. You can do it immediately with no seasoning, and you can recoup any money you put into it for down payment to close the cost back. And then, get you a property, whether it's a multi or, something like that. So where, somebody's been paying for your lifestyle. And essentially, at some point, like you said, you have time though, but they can pay the mortgage elsewhere, pay on the mortgage, if you will. So trying to make all things work together in your favor. So those would be my notes, kind of just find out where you're trying to go with things. Most of my clients want to retire to beat out inflation. They want to retire with a realness. They invest on my so I look at how we can build generational, and much of what Jennifer before talked about, build an auto insurance. So I look to find out what a person goes or how to dump money and things that will go to work for you to where you get deployed back to yourself, So good credit, find out the end goal is buy a property where you can create value and then leverage insurance to the maximum capacity and put a trust and will behind it so that probate can never take what you built. And you can decide how you want your heirs to look now and later.
Yeah.
So let's get flying up to me. Like, what are, what the top 3 things that you're telling them, like, you need to do?
I think a lot of it is to echo the credit. Is kind of one of the biggest things I look at, because I like a new credit score, so you as transcript. I need credit, the better opportunities you want to get. I also think it was mentioned about setting your whole budget, that you may get a pre-approval for a certain amount, but what you can afford and what's going to work for you. And I think you also have to as you start talking to some professionals, start talking to some real estate agents, talk to them, even if you're not ready, talk to them to get a feel for kind of where things are, so you can actually get yourself to the point where you're ready and start. Once you're in the process, building your team. So you're going to have a real estate agent. In Illinois, you're going to have attorney most times, where you're going to need a lender, you're going to need insurance, you're going to need all those different things just to help you actually be able. So I want to see if they can get pre-approved, obviously, which we talked about. So I would, refer them to a trusted lender to see what that is. And we kind of go through the next steps as we go there. But those are some things you consider before you start.
So I would say my three things were on a woman. So I'd say shop. And when I say shop, I mean look and see what it's got to be here. Location is important as expensive, especially when it comes to real estate. But also remember that your mortgage is not just your mortgage. You also earn taxes and insurance. So you need to look at the location and look, in University Park, we're paying $10,000 on a year in taxes. So what are you paying in your taxes? What is your insurance on that house? The bigger the house, the more the insurance. So you need to also understand not just one component of it. You need to understand the entire amount, your principal, your insurance, taxes, right? You need to understand all of them. So shop around and understand your location and understand, look at what you're going to pay. If you're ready to buy, I would say, of course, budget is everything. Budget. But I also would say, do not make any major purchases right before you're ready. That's really important. So before the mortgage lender pulls your credit, don't do anything major 6 months before. Maybe even a year before. They're going to pull that report. You don't want that deal on there. You don't want a bunch of people pulling your credit. Don't buy a car right before you're trying to buy a house. Buy a house for them, right? So make sure you don't do any major purchases. And then, of course, I always say 30%. As you're doing your budget, you're paying attention to your budget, you're paying that stuff down, make sure you stay under 30% of your usage. So whatever your limit is on your credit cards, your loans, whatever it is, get it under 30%. That's going to increase your opportunity to have the best rates. That's going to increase your opportunity to save money. So if your first step, you're looking at your budget like, okay, this is what I can do. You're also looking at your credit report to say, this is the first thing I should tackle. The first goal is to keep it under 30%. Focus on that so that you can get your credit score up and work on keeping consistency, paying those bills on time. Sometimes I say, pay what's on your credit report, what shows on your credit report first, because, economy doesn't show up on your credit report. So pay what's on the credit report first. I'll make your way the extra 5 days. I'm just saying. Just down in those 5-3.
All right, girl. So is this girl? And it's trying to credit reports and stuff like is there good, bad debt or things to just positive rent. Like you pay your rent on time, right? And it help you. I think it's just the person who's pieces that might be considered. Are there how does that work, right? Student loans, rent, things like that. Is what's good, what's bad? What should do, what should
Yeah, I would say diversity of credit is important. You can't have all credit cards and nothing else. I also would say don't take out a bunch of stuff just for the sake of wanting to have diversity. Make it make sense. And so, the vehicle that you pay on time. A couple of credit cards is okay. Don't go out and always, if you're going to get a credit card, I prefer not getting a specific card like a Kohl's or a Macy's card. It's better to just have a card that you can use on an emergency. They have better interest rates. You can negotiate, you can do 0 interest transfers, things like that. But I would say have a diversity, keep it under 30%. The things that weigh the most are the rewarding, right? So you want that credit card. You want to make sure you pay attention to that credit card. Student loans up and down, hopefully you got it forgiven. Wildlife is as good as God. Don't pay for it, might just take it because, they're taking it now. So make sure at the end of the day, know what's on your credit score. That's the most important. And you start working with playing. Don't have to play how the gap is up to, but get a play. Diversity of credit is the most important. That's going to raise your score if you pay it on time, and if you, of course, keep that utilization thing very Krista.
Well, it's and on the rent, right? This is one where I still be here this to people, right? I feel like I don't get credit for doing things right. And my bills for that stuff like that. But if I don't have a credit card, or say I do need a credit card, I do this look at anything about that, I need to for something like that. How do you decide this stuff?
Well, the industry has understood people's setbacks. They're trying to open up the opportunity for home ownership. They're trying to ease the entryway to home ownership. One thing that they're taking into consideration in the past year or so is positive rental payment history, whereby we can do verifications with the current landlord, even if it's, a private landlord as opposed to a property management company, and strengthen your application because the underwriting systems that have been developed in mortgage lending over the last 20 years, a lot of it's really called automated, where technology is determining whether or not you're strong enough to buy. So anything we can do to strengthen the application by adding positive rental history only helps me increase the approval odds. Speaking of credit, a lot of people don't know, but credit scores is better than credit. Simply, there are mortgage programs available to you where we build a credit profile for you based on utilities, based on rental payments, based on car insurance, things that you pay monthly. We can have our credit reporting companies contact T-Mobile, ComEd, and DirecTV for 12 months. So, don't be discouraged if you don't have any credit score because we're a traditionalist and you want to pay everything for cash or power to you, but you think that you can't, go with our roads to lose $1,000 because you never flex credit support. There are still pathways for it.
So I think for those of you who were here for the service earlier, we heard this. I gave the story of salvation through the thread of the graveyard, right? The lease is the credit store. Is it ever too late, right? Or is there an opportunity to kind of refine that any challenge that your bet?
I don't want to talk. I'm not taking away that today. So no, it's never too late, right? We believe in God, which is also believing for stuff. It's never too late, no matter what your credit score is. Start making positive credit payments. Start doing something about it. Don't be afraid of it because we don't walk your feet, right? Look at it, know what it is to make a plan. Write the vision, make it plain. We know the spiritual, we know what to do, right? So we're going to use the super with the natural and make a plain like a talent. That's happy. That's great to understand what you want to do, have a plan, have a goal, and work the goal. And then you have a team, right? Find people to help you get there.
And from my perspective, it's never too early. And what I mean by that is we have to take what we do here and infuse that into the youth within the community.
That's good.
Because I think we all in such a degree that the public education system has failed us when it comes to financial literacy.
Yeah.
There are many of us in the room with master's degrees. And my man threw out a big word for fiduciary earlier. And some of us didn't even understand what that meant. So when you think about financial literacy, it's up to us to be warriors, right? And to continue to do what we do to make sure that the next generation understands what a credit score is. And they have a better understanding of financial literacy at the base level so that they won't have a 350 credit score by the time they're 20 years old, right?
Right.
So what's going on here in the community, right? And you personally have worked on a lot of outreach and education efforts for the folks that are coming up, right? Are there ways, what are some of the things you're doing? And are there ways that folks in the audience here can be involved?
Absolutely. So I've been a part of some spearheading some projects to actually increase financial awareness and financial literacy. Also, the idea of generational wealth as a way to kind of impact or as a way to kind of, interrupt the process of cycles of failure within the community. We're dealing with a generation now that in so many ways are lost. And they don't have generational wealth, but they have generational trauma. They have generational debt. They have generational demons through alcoholism and drug addictions and different. There's a lot of things that come through generational, but wealth is not one of them. And what it does is it provides a sense of homelessness for a generation. So from my standpoint and my thinking is it starts with the younger generation and put together projects. So I'm super excited about this panel. I don't know who put together, but y'all did a really good job because I know a little bit about everyone up here, and there are some warriors up here. There's people up here who, I mean, I hear this brother on the radio, the news, every time I talk, because I know the work, I know the work that this brother does, and she have a program at the Charlie, and there's going to take an alliance of warriors within the community to increase the financial awareness and financial literacy amongst the next generation.
And then people getting we got this one of the reasons that we're trying to go across the country and really work with our local partners in Gal. I'm sure reaching that next generation before it becomes 25 this is right. I think that's really the people who they go there is we want to assist people in getting where they want to be, to really to avoid that, right? I can't. But there's always something. Oh, you would like one to say something. Oh! But in this, anyways, I know I'm probably kind of an out of the box person, but you know. So in my field, we deal with people that have straight up credit. And they don't have necessarily a job right now, but there's ways to transfer wealth to private lending. It's simply by asking somebody to retire. I think we transfer that property to a child, or children, a spouse, and you could create positive cash flow for them. So that's one of the deals that I use, when I'm trying to pass down wealth to those, days. I'm not a junkie for, the insurance side of things, but from a different aspect, much of what you hear about on the radio right now talks about IUS and other things and annuities, which are great vehicles. But, I had to give you the real that it's going to take a long time to build money the way that process works. So I use my program to say, basically invest in things that would create value where you can get equity and invest back into those things that can go to work for you, which gives you a position to borrow your money with no restriction like that other for a video and 403B or TSP. Some of these things just allow you accessing your money to, unless you're buying a home, going to school or something like that, but not building wealth. So financial literacy is a huge component about what I do, in my programs, but creating your leverages, so if you got a child that you find that they're responsible, then you can say, hey, or you think not responsible, you can still build for them, because insurance is one vehicle that you can start from when you're 15 days old. I got my 7th month, put $1 million policy, $15 a month, so, but by the time he's, 18 years old, he's a millionaire. Or depending on how I choose to invest in his life, so we can do that. So that's what rich and wealthy people do. But if you want to go buy it all, you can leverage the insurance. It's not credit, it's health. So life expectancy makes the insurance cheaper, and of course as you get older, it took me 40-something years to get my insurance because I had health issues, but I was able to get it finally to give me an annuity and I will. So now I work that, I flood that so I can borrow from myself and I can buy a home if I want to with cash. But I leverage properties and property equity, so rich people they don't let money sit. They put it in places that will perform for them. So you have to create things that will perform for you. It's not just based on their credit. Of course the banking aspect of it all still does, look at the credit, but if you're a good health, instead of giving $400 a month to your retirement account, put it into put it into do it to so into your own life, and then have access to it with compound interest versus giving all your money to an employer, or an investor and get more taxes because they get a tax break, makes a 501c3s. I'm sorry, I'm going out to us, but it makes a 501c3s, and they make money on selling us our money because we qualify, So I was saying, really good stuff qualified through insurance. You need to invest in, kind of create, I don't want to say, also create your own narrative, and then start developing that for those you love and you care for, So like, all of my children, I'm a junkie for credit. My wife's the mercenary in the house, but I don't know because I'm trying to fight it, but that's what she did, but what I do is I ask that take your credit and pay you, and banks, good credit speaks a language to banks, it says that you'll pay the bill. So, you have to learn how you can build relationships with those banks to access what they have and decide how you want to create your increase, have a formal plan for it before you just go spend money. And I take 0% credit cards to buy property. I just simply take two businesses that I own and I attach someone that's close to me and we do a transaction. I do a refund to myself, to my business. So that I get free money by the points and cash rewards, but I can go buy property in cash. And I don't need bank commissions. So now you align yourself with what's needed to get where you want to be. So those are just vehicles around us. These processes are all very important because I got started in your field, in the mortgage banking side, but just learning what I learned and sitting in some of the rooms, with districts and resources, how information is being shared, so all in all, if you have okay credit, or maybe they have a good credit in your family, you can simply create a business for them, create a business. They already have a property in the business name. They can attach that business to that title. They can refinance up to 75%, based on the value. You don't have to prove income. So, there's ways to kind of get involved in the real estate the non-traditional way, but again, deriving more info that if it can show to you the financial OCL, because now you got real books. You say, I'm going to drop that rate by 2, 3, 4%, but you still got ownership, so that you can still make money into some multi-unit or a mixed-use property. So that's my big star.
So I can say something because you get no wealth as information today. But if we don't use it, I think the scripture says faith without works is. Sometimes you have faith without mouth, but faith has to come through our legs. You don't have to be great to get started, because you got to get started to become great. What I see is that individuals who felt like they couldn't get off that student loan, that low credit, all those different things, please access all the resources you have here. Put a plan together. Maybe it doesn't happen today, but it can happen if you at least step out of the boat field. So later.
That's a little bit least. So, you can buy properties on contract too, because you have motivated sellers. So right now, I'm buying a commercial piece of property. There's those properties right now. Some of those that can't move, because taxes, property price point. People don't have the down payment because of lenders are now requesting so much down payment. It's priced people out of the market. But you got motivated sellers. Like I'm buying a property for $1 billion right now with all this motivated, and I got to determine terms, but again, it was changed to be the unload their property. So I'm just saying that with challenge credit, you got people out there, you got assumable mortgages out there. You got some people that carry property that, will do some terms with you. So don't be afraid of the conversation. Because there's lots of ways to get involved in real estate, and don't fit the traditional standard, but the traditional standard has one way to do things, which is not bad thing. But it's going to X out any that have become professional students, where they co-sign for a car, got too many inquiries, high credit usage, So most of the training is to prepare yourself to get this home. You're not receiving, by way of school or any other platform, because people don't know how to teach you.
So there's a lot of myths and a lot of misconceptions. One of the ways to really kind of get around that consulting professional. You think you're making in this help. I mean, they're going to do this for a living and go what they're doing, and really asking for help is the big step.
One of the benefits in living in the Chicago area is we have so many non-for-profit housing counseling agencies that provide free purchase counseling. They provide homebuyer education classes. They provide post-purchase counseling, foreclosure prevention. A lot of these services are free. Neighborhood housing services. Chicago is one of the largest. They're having a homebuyer event, an educational workshop at South Suburban College. Fall, you can definitely look into South Suburban Housing Center. I think the Casey Press of Angwood is another good example. But there are local resources that you can utilize. We get third-party opinions, someone. So, we could look at me, look at Sean. We're professionals in this industry, but we have to make a living. There are other professionals in the industry that may not be your advocate as much as other people are, but knowing you're going to these housing agencies that they're your advocate. So definitely do your research on that. Look professionals. bunch of great choose both. Thanks.
And we've been talking a lot. I see anybody come up and hits a question. You got Colton earlier, please. I can keep asking questions, but we could open it up as well.
Yes, and they go, oh, that's in the.
Go the microphone on the side. You go to the microphone that be.
I have the question. As a phone orders, I learned now different part programs.
Yeah.
So I'm learning about different programs and learning how to understand the value of privacy. What I actually did. There was I'm learning more but it just I bought a house. So it's definitely I had access to that. So can you explain to me that help us understand what those plus we really know from because I'm learning those about holding equity and how to work in the process of that and you like still all things for home from me life insurance. I'm not selling, but I'm always encouraging folks to get it. So I did understand that those programs are processing the beginning to pay off your home with life insurance. So which programs for the life insurance are better for people as well? You know, like whole life, term life, things like that. So I'm asking about whole equity, I'm asking about life insurance. Beyond life insurance.
Still going to how to evaluate how to tap the access to equity in your home.
Exactly.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I could definitely speak on the equity side more so than life insurance. When you first purchase a home, it's down payment. Just what down is, the first spot of equity right through the home. There are situations where you buy a home for a certain price, and when we do the appraisal on the property, the first time where you understand what the true market value of your home is when they're appraised in this second. Sometimes there's situations where you get to buy the property, so people buy it for it and negotiate the price, and that's great. But the main source of equity comes over time, and it does take some time before you can tap into. Every monthly payment that you make, a portion of the monthly payment is going towards reducing your principal balance. Fortunately, we're in an environment where our home prices have been appreciated. So it's just a matter of time whereby until you pay down your mortgage balance and your home value continues to reset, that continues to build the equity that you have in your home. Now, you've owned 105, 7, 8 years. You've seen over time things that you want to do to improve your home. It's the most common reason why people want to pull equity from the home. It's important to understand that a banker lender will never allow you to pull all the equity you have in the home. You could own a home right now it's worth $300,000 and you owe $200,000 left on your mortgage. You have $100,000 of that in the property. Congratulations. But the loan to value for which we have to consider is 80%. So you have to leave 20% equity in your property at all times. I mean, you can purchase property for as little as 3% down, you do a VA mortgage 0% down, but you still have to develop more than 20% equity before you could tap that amount above 20%. So, it does take some time. All I can do is encourage you to, continue to make your payments on time, continue to make additional payments towards that principal when you can. Hopefully your own continues to appreciate value and anything you can do to improve your home and improves the value. A lot of things that appraisers look at are updates for your bathrooms, updates for your kitchen, flooring, windows, things like that. So again, it does take some time for you to be able to develop the effort, you to be able to pull it up.
If I could just say one quick thing too, is so using as example, you put 20% down by over during the process when you wanted to. So you got $100,000 in equity, which goes to your next house. Now you can take after you sell the house, and then you have $80,000, but you don't have closing costs. You guys are selling the patients to let's say now you have $80,000 goes to the next. So when we say equity, instead of coming in at 3% for your purchase, now you're coming with perhaps giving more in your hand than which are potentially can be for your next coin. Or you also pay attention to the market, pay attention to the interest rates, don't pay more than you need to. But if you needed to take out money, you can't take out more than 80%. If you needed to do a home equity loan to pay off things at a lower interest rate, you have interest rates that are 22% of credit cards or installment loans that are 20 or whatever percent, that you can get a home equity loan for 6%. Take some of that home equity out, pay off that debt at a lower interest rate. So that's what you could do with the equity. And then you pay that one bill and don't have that credit again. Well, you pay that off at a lower interest and you're saving yourself money. Never take out, I would never suggest you take out up to 80%, but depending upon if you're moving to the next, you can use it for that down payment that has some extra, or you can use it to pay off and interest other than this.
And one other thing, if you have knowing the market like where you live,
Right.
That's really important because I'm gonna use my office. So I bought my own building path in 400 grand. So house across the street from 2,000 square feet big, and sold for close to, right? So, and then they put a lot of finished farming. So if you have the credit capacity, and they have some verified income that's strong, you could borrow some money and one way enhance your home in addition to size. Because I'm getting ready to add 2,000 square feet to my house because my house is newer than that house. The appraised value is 1.4 million. So I'm saying those are different ways that you go use if you got the financial capacity. Definitely want to cancel some debt that's high interest because you want to make it make sense. And then if you have a really good income, of course, you take some of that equity, put it into a compound interest asset, IUL, annuity, but I don't do anything that follows you. I mean, I can't tell you how to sell your money, but if the market goes to a bad situation, I like fixed rate situations. So I don't want to lose. And so these things are still far better than the CD will do and other things that I figured. But the generational protection is a big deal. And if you need to access it, it's not based on credit, it's based on health. So if you ever decide I would do different things, go invest in a business, or if I want to open a laundry, so a lot of us can go to work for you, but I'm just saying, but that's the way that you do it. If you have significant equity in your property, if you improve it or add an addition, and your credit's good, and you can do that too. But otherwise you got to go the traditional route, let things seize and that kind of route. But yeah.
Well, I did do another appraisals after each, they want to know.
Yeah. But what you also want to do is you can do some market research. You can get with Sean and say, okay, well, the house I go on for this amount, but then the houses that are significantly larger based on what you owe, there's some room here based on what it costs to extend or to add addition, have the land to do so. You can kind of, if I put this additional square footage, what would my house value potentially looking at for tops? So if that makes sense to you, and you have a verified income that makes sense to the bank, of course, if you've been there for a year, you got to go for a season in traditional banks, you can go see everyone, get the home equity line, get rid of some of that debt, make it work. I mean,
Nice deal.
Thank you. You got the question.
Get that to my background, but say something that else when somebody say they go out credit score at times city and so it called that as second company state for Shannon Hopen office. I'm not going to put you in here and let it happen. But now I can't detect out in a minute.
It is more difficult for you to get a home equity loan than for you to get an FH2. Nobody straight up front to home equity loans as opposed to conventional and FHA mortgages are usually offered by the banks, the credit was talking about funds. So they control the guidelines for approving. That's why it creates what changed on the all the time. I know like US Bank, they require a succeeded credit score. They don't want to see any bankruptcies, modifications, history whatsoever for you to qualify for their home equity funds. Otherwise, We go to an FHA first mortgage, and you're going to have to be subject to whatever current interest rate is. If you want to pull some equity, we limit it to 8% in that situation. So if you are having a difficulty tapping into your equity based on credit score criteria, always seek professional advice to help improve your credit score, because that's always going to help you with this today and future aids. And at the same time, as you are in dire straits where you need to see what options are available to you now, FHA does have a cash out mortgage program for you where all that equity, you'll have to refinance well the balance you owe on your first mortgage right now. Mortgage, like FHA can go down to I-8 slower times.
The more stay on to look at all your options. Don't do them parts of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime you get a loan, whether it's going to be a home equity loan or your first mortgage with the FHA or conventional, you have to understand that the collateral for which we're lending against is the terms of the pension of the property and the value of the property. Those are, two important factors that the bank would require an appraisal for in order to, capture the information to make a decision. So if your client is not in a state where it's just acceptable because it needs some repairs, and you're like, hey, I did the equity in my house to be able to do some repairs. But you don't want to let it to me because I got a hole in the roof and tarp's over there. Unfortunately, that's a situation where you're going to have to be a bit more creative. There are lending institutions that will allow you to lend you money specifically for those improvements. I know Neighborhood Housing Services of Chicago, they have a lending division, neighborhood lending services. They have under their mortgage program that they, obtain funds from the state, an agency in TC where they're able to help individuals in that similar situation. So, just speak to as many different professionals. Yeah, no, we get discouraged because there are programs out.
Are you trying to improve your own? I think my answer. How's it pray?
Well, let's see what's it.
Okay. So, I mean, I would love to talk to you to kind of see what's working. That's okay. But what I also want to encourage you to do is, because what most people don't know is that even in some high-end areas, they consider radio use. So there's some money, see that at Cabin Cherries if you talk to a local alder. So, there are places that live with all things for free. Things give away this money. So I would say, even see what's available with your local alder that you could perhaps actually tap into for free. Otherwise, I would love to kind of see what the situation is, just kind of talk about it and cost to just kind of to see what maybe actually land, but I was still encouraged to think about, what's available to me, because if you don't claim that money within 7 years, it goes back. So this is what people are they're not informed about what's on the tables, so see what the community has to, Thanks. We got 2 quick questions over here, and then I think you will let go.
Yes, I'm about to. I'm not.
Secretaries of
Okay, I'm about the VA line. So that the interest rate is locked in at the rate that it was. I was going to buy and sell at the same time. So how does that align with would it be a new interest rate, a kind of interest rate, or how do you come out of these two? What's real?
definitely want to have a great real estate agent be able to help you coordinate both the sale of your home and the purchase of the home of your new home. It's most definitely possible, but you need to have a great team that's able to communicate with the buyer of your new home and the buyer of your existing home and the seller of your current home to be in the morning. You need to literally close the sale of your home in the morning and purchase a new home in the afternoon. So, yeah, happens all the time. It definitely can assist you with that. I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question?
The interest rate.
Oh, VA. You can never carry one mortgage over as one other. It doesn't matter if it's VA, FHA, conventional. When you're purchasing a new property, you're going to be subject to whatever the market interest rates are. Great thing about VA is you can use it multiple times and you still not have a down payment requirement. You may recall when you first bought your home, there's a few K, unless you're exempt, or the veteran is exempt.
My dear.
But so make you work on that. See, you get property tax benefits too. But the VA does charge a funding fee that goes up every time you use your entitlement. But fortunately, it's not an out-of-pocket cost. They just added to, the 100% finances that they're offering. But you're going to be subject to, current market interest rates. Right now, VA mortgages are in the mid-sixes. You will have the opportunity to buy down your interest rate if that's something that's of interest to you, when you can get it down to the fives. With you looking to sell your home and purchase a new home, you're in a great position because hopefully you have some equity that you're looking to transfer from one to another. But I want everyone to understand that even in this situation, when you're looking to upgrade or downgrade your home, moving from one to another, you can still qualify for assistance programs. Down payment assistance programs are no longer available just the first-time home buyers. The majority of programs are available to individuals that are looking to move into the home that you're buying. So as long as it's going to be your primary residence, you can qualify for those assistance programs. Even if you're getting an VA mortgage that doesn't have any down payment requirement, the assistance program that would normally help cover your down payment will help cover your closing costs. The state of Illinois, just like everything else is, the cost to buy a home is high. The closing costs are high. So, we're going to need $6, $7, $8,000 on top of the down payment. Well, let's get out of that. But it's definitely possible. It's open so great professionals to be able to make that happen. So,
You're welcome. If I could figure that from the down payment assistance, because I know individuals are in here that are looking to buy a home. And one of the areas which I didn't mention earlier was the down payment. There are down payment assistance programs. Lenders have lender-specific programs. Illinois has programs. If you want to look at some of them, it's called ILA.org, ISBA.org. Those programs for Illinois are good there. And so if you want to make sure, I would say even if you're looking for it, even if you have the money to buy a home, run it with the down payment assistance program, run it without the down payment assistance program, see what fits best for you. And sometimes, although the down payment assistance, it does come sometimes with a higher interest rate, but it gets you in the home. So you just want to make sure you're looking at what's best for you, what's best for you.
just like here, and my question is, I was like 9 years old, 2008, house pricing, I'm either COVID happened, I was asleep, but my question, looking to me, to you guys speaking to the work, so I didn't market, dealing like the eights. Because especially about and Sarah's eating part right now with the Fed cutting rates, like how is it like for young investors to get in right time? And then the second part of that question, Bill Ryan spoke on this, some of this military in this, but how feasible or how much opportunity is to strike deals directly with the sellers, the sub-creative investors?
I'll speak to the first one. I'll let the creative finance and keep us into the second one. I want to say this, the best time for you to buy your own personal finance is when you are ready. You shouldn't feel pressure from anybody else, from any realtor, any other person. It's when you are ready. What I have learned is that time in the market beats time in the market. So, because sometimes I have people who actually wanted to purchase a home and they've been waiting for 3 years for interest rates to come down. The thing is they did come down, but the prices of homes have very high. And so now they're paying more. So if you can afford it now, and your budget fits it, it might be more feasible to do it right now as opposed to waiting. Because none of us can tell you what's going to happen with interest rates from paying it. We can't tell you what's going to happen in our society from they are about. But sometimes it's good to get in there. And if the interest rates come down, I'm not guaranteed, I never tell anybody that, but if they come down, then you have enough equity in your home, you can refinance and get a lower interest rate. But I think time in the market beats time in the world.
But what I'll say is there are so many different variables that adjust interest rate to every year, right? And like he mentioned, the time that you invest in doing your research on a prospective property, you know, if other factors are more favorable right now than the interest rate, the numbers still look good, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. You've got professionals that are telling you the deal regardless of it being an 8.5% interest rate because you got to be creative to get in there, but the numbers still work. Take advantage of it because the first mortgage payment that you're making, you forcing yourself to save for the next deal when all the variables are, are at its height. So just take every individual transaction for what it is, because you never know what you're coming across tomorrow.
So, man, I deal more on the investment side of things than do primary, but I still help those who want to buy primary, but I can say yeah, they're private. But you just got to make sure the situation will start events, so much of what I do, I'm looking to kind of create value to get equity out, income tax free. And I want to recover what I put into down payment to provide support income. So that's kind of how I look at it. So I look for it because I don't just look at traditional, not to make it about me, but I don't just look at traditional priorities where you go the investors who I coach. Think about housing programs, so Blood Bash, saying about single house, those who ain't in the foster care, domestic violence shelters, so think about it as the state funded, so I look at those companies that can create volume, pray and have a more regulated situation, because right now we got a lot that's going on with job scarcity, so you need some protections. I'm not talking about treating around the block, but just basically, if you want to buy just for fun for you, if it's an investment piece, but if you're going to buy them from to me, in most cases, you're going to buy it through a private lender, or I'm going to get you cash. That's going to be expensive, so having the exit strategy, if you don't use my programs, you're going to buy it in cash, which can be a private lender in turn. But so I would want to see your situation and then make the best assessment that I can offer you, and then you tell me what's the goal, what's the no, because we don't want to push you in a worse predicament. We want to push you in a better situation, one that can allow you to grow. So because you thought, as a young man, you become a person that could show other young men and young women a blueprint, and so I will give you something that you want me to carry, pay it for, but also be successful. That makes sense. And I think we'll take one more question and then break for the break to the brass. So won't speak for everybody up here on the stage, but definitely kind of let up the chat for this. You may still have a question outstanding. Please go ahead.
What are you?
And what's the number? No, it's a baby with baby up at top.
How you all doing?
That's Burlington.
So I've been in my house for about 2 years now, and I should know the taxes.
Yeah.
I'm being Tracy.
I've already applied for a motor exemption.
I'm sorry.
Next year, and I was moving up for assessment. So I was other things, but they're actually and minimize on that. The taxes are going to increase this. In just the 2 years, then it's already increased.
You got a disabled, senior, veteran, grandfather.
I just say, that's the audience.
It sounds like without me in
This is
I mean, well, yes, that's to continue without having to just, dump a bunch of what the escrow and trying all the time. That's what it is. But
It's tough, man. I want you to do it. But what I can't say is you can go back and get 3 years retro. You only been in 2 years, or get some of that money back that you got in taxes if you had any written water. So it will change your tax, but it can put the your styles in your pocket to some situation.
so, and how would I go about doing that again?
Look at the tiny stuff. I'm back to the rest for that. Yeah, it seems squashed around. You got to prove that your residency when you were there, that kind of stuff. But
I would say what
we filed to
you and your taxes is.
that's the other side. Yeah.
file to kill for bugs. So, and every year, actually twice a year, there's periods that open up where you can do the application of the higher professional agents of our landlords get and get jumped there all the time. So property tax attorneys services that offer just what a property tax appeal and about, right? But it's something that, there's different not-for-profit agencies that host classes, maybe your local township will host classes or have a professional from the county come out. But appealing your taxes is a technique for which they can lower the assessed value of your murder, keep it from increasing as much as they increase the next time they assess it. But it is that assessed value that determines exactly how much your property taxes are, because it alters by at times the tax factor for averages in the municipality in the states. I know in my township right now, the deadline in the period to appeal is open until August 21st. So, the first thing would be to find out when your property tax appeal period is open, then make a decision as to whether or not you want to try and to complete that application yourself with assistance from a third party or hire an agency to work for you. Those agencies that do it for you, they only charge you a percentage what they say they do. So it's going to be a win-win if you do it to them, to do it yourself, or even if they do it, not be successful, but it shouldn't result in a higher tax bill than what it was previously. So it's definitely what you're asking to appeal your property tax. So, I appeal for the assessment. You appeal once the period from which your township has open applications to appeal it. That's everything. That would be through the state document. That would be through the Cook County Assessor's Office. Cook County Assessor's Office. So if you just do a Google search for, property tax appeals, Universal Park, you should be able to find this resource. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break to do the raffle here. I see Reese coming up. So let's do that. And thank you all. I really thank you. I'll be big thanks because I got a lot on me. So again, I won't speak on anybody's behalf, but I think everybody here will be happy to stick it out. It's just the watch the bills. But we see you first.
Okay, so y'all all been waiting on, right? To tell the truth, that's what y'all really been waiting on. It's a wrap. So y'all still with us. Hold up. Come on, Howard. Let's pull these numbers.
Wait, can I just wreck to this scoop?
Hey.
Yeah, makes it just
Put it right in this. Should go with the gut. I could actually go. Fighter.
Okay, we have your numbers. So we have 3, 4, 3, 8, 0, 6, 0.
hand over me. It's good to
Yay! Come on up.
It's the first year in 10 out of
See you take
Excited.
So I started.
That's it. That's it. Let's go. 3, 4, 3, 8, 0, 9, 1.
Because
Okay.
Mango virus. That's a shake up. This in the area. So I stood. I'm sorry. Speak up because we have to stick with it.
3, 4, 3, 8, 0, 7, 1. Oh, look. Yo.
It's by the warrior virus. Don't say that. This one.
Okay, last one. Where's your roll at? 3, 4, 3, 8.
Fast.
Gotta wait, y'all stared at me. 3, 4, 3, 8, 1, 0, 8. Let's go. So hold this thing. Come on up. He walking through the crowd, shaking hands and everything. Come on up to the front.
So we don't mix y'all straight side.
To serve Bruce.
Awesome.
Sorry, no, just so much. It was our but they're up.
Come on, y'all. Come on, please, y'all. Come on. Nah, I don't like to let's make a deal. That felt kind of good. So one more time, what I want to do is, it's really important that we give it up for Pastor Lady here for making this happen. And we just want to thank you, everybody. Y'all got work to do. Y'all know that, right? So again, listen, learn, activate. So activate everything you got to date. I promise you, we'll come back. 21 days to create a habit, 90 days to create a lifestyle. All we got to do is flip these, but we can get the work done and change our family and create legacies, okay? Give it up for the panel, everybody. Ready? Come on, man. Again, we want to thank Colin, APOA, for all the work that we continue to do around this country, everybody. Come on, y'all. We're giving books out. We'll be signing books. Some of the tables are out there as well. Stop out there and get that. And if I had two families, we have a board game I'm going to give you, Ways to Wealth, for your family. So I'm going to give it to two families. Actually, I'm going to give one to Pass that foot. So make sure they can do that at home. And I have one more I'm going to give out to a family that can do this, and you guys can do well, build wealth with your kids as well. Okay? So thank you, everybody. I'm going to let Pastor Lady here and say something before we get out of here.
Wasn't this wonderful, y'all? Come on, man. Well, I can't say anything. Brother, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for your friendship and for considering us, for giving me a call and just giving us the opportunity to be able to hold something like this for our community. One more time, let's celebrate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for partnering and making sure everything went well. Thank you so much. Come on, let's give Colin a hand. Thank you. Thank you to this quick Colin. Thank y'all so much for showing up, for giving us all the great information. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. And don't forget, thank y'all for hanging out. I bless you all and love you all. I encourage you all to leave something that pulls out.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Our panelists, thank you. And all of our panelists are local. So once we get local, so they are at your disposal. So
It's like time.
yes, so
Very quickly, if y'all could just tell us how to reach this show, Larry. That there's a lot of information so that they want to know how they reach this guest. Like, that'd be so great.
You think that the closest bank location that I covered is in Madison on Lincoln Highway, right between Crawford and Cicero. I have my business cards and flyers on the table outside. Feel free to contact me. Appreciate being here. Thank you again.
You can go to brandonvistafinance.com. I'll turn your radio on your TV on. All right, call me at 812-244-3609. It's 812-244-3609. Select the radio. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Richmond Park. You know, if you're in another state, you know, I can take out my local office, but we license nationwide. So we just want to help people, you know, and then of course start the Green Generation. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just family. I live in Glenwood, Illinois, so I'm right locally as well. You can find me on SeanAldridge.EXTRealty.com or on all the social media networks where I try to give education, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I give a lot of information there. I can reach you out and do one more information as well.
And Pastor Sean talks about the street and beyond the veil, so he can help you with real estate and hands on it. So,
Yes.
well, I'm Ricky Spriggs. You guys can see me here on Sunday. As well as I do Cap Money Coach. I'm your Cap Money Coach here locally. Represent Christians Against Poverty. So if you guys have any pushes, register for the classes at Gemma or contact the church, and I'll help you.
Our Kids Count Biz. That's Our Kids, OUR Kids.biz.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've been seeing one time. Give our panelists a hand. God bless you. Let us put our 800 population of Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you for all the things that we've heard here today. thank you, God, for giving us the education that's needed and necessary for us to go out and make informed decisions. We thank you, God, for the information that was given. Now, God, let us take this this information, let us be introspective, and let us find things that we can do in our own lives to build generational wealth and become more financially literate. We thank you, God, for today. We thank you for our teacher. We thank you for the message. We thank you for the panelists. Bless now our panelists. Bless now those from APOA who are going to fly. We give you the ask for trying to grace and mercy over them. We love you. We thank you. We honor you. In Jesus' name we pray. Everybody said, God bless